Hello guys, it is Geed, and you can now put 4 Playstyle Plus and 8 Silver Playstyles on every new card. But I've already seen some shocking builds for these Glory Hunter cards, especially the popular ones like Gordon and Rashford. So today, we're going to go through every position, so goalkeeper through striker, and rank the 4 best Playstyle Plus as well as the 8 best Silver Playstyles. And everyone should leave this video changing at least one thing about one of their builds, so let's jump into it. But boys, we're going to start off with goalkeeper, then go through left back, right back, centre back, CDM, centre mid, cam, wingers, striker, go through all of it. And we're also going to try and rank like playstyles for individual players. So if there's certain players like Anthony Gordon, SBC, that even though he's a striker or a winger, might need a certain playstyle, we'll talk about that as well. Now, starting off with the goalkeeper, this Courtois is now the best goalkeeper on the game. If you're going to play Foot Champs this weekend, first of all, if you've not got him already, I recommend you go and get him. The other choice is, of course, Vizinha, who's 100 tokens in a token store. However, it just won't be as good as Courtois. I would just go and buy Courtois, make him untradeable, and then you can sell him if you want to, and take the evos off him. Now, the goalkeeper is the only position where you can't actually choose a 4th playstyle plus, because if you didn't know, the way to get 4 playstyles is in this 2 of 8 playstyle pick in the SBC section. However, it gives you a set 8 playstyles. It gives you the best 8 in the game, but none of them are goalkeeper playstyles. So you can get 2 there. You get given finesse shot plus for free as a 4th playstyle. And the last one you can find is if you go to the live event and go to the penalty shootout event, Moments of Glory, the group reward for that is another 2 of 8 playstyle pick. But once again, it's only the 8 playstyles, which EA, deemed the best in the game. So it's pinged, ticky, incisive, intercept, bruiser, anticipate, finesse shot, and low driven, I believe. Or I believe quick step and rapid are in there as well. But don't worry, all the 4 playstyle plus builds we go through, we'll just use one of those playstyles, right? You'll be able to do all of them. But for goalkeeper, I think the first few are obvious, right? Into A tier, the ones you need as playstyle pluses, you need far reach plus, in my opinion, first, and footwork second. I think everyone agrees on those. They're the 2 main saving playstyles. Finesse shot's broken, low drivens are still broken. You need both of those, lock them in playstyles. The 3rd playstyle plus, I've seen some debate between deflector and rush out. Use rush out as the playstyle plus, trust me. The way we're going to do it is A is going to be playstyle pluses you need, B is going to be playstyle pluses you kind of need, like 50-50. C is going to be playstyles you need, and then D is going to be maybe playstyles you kind of need, and then we'll ignore E. And so this is the full goalkeeper build, right? Put those 3 playstyle pluses on, and then go and put deflector on 100%, cross claimer, far throw 100%. Now trust me on this, put on pinged, ticky, long ball, and quick step 100%. You'll have 1 playstyle slot left. Now both block and intercept get used by the clubs people a lot. They think that block blocks things and intercepts things as goalkeepers. I'm very skeptical, and I don't think you need either of them, to be honest. You've got 1 playstyle left. I would ignore incisive. If you're playing incisive passes with your goalkeeper, you're a degenerate. But intercept and block, you can choose one of them if you really want, or try and be funny maybe and put like a little trickster on if you think it's funny. But I'd probably choose block, and that'll be the build for goalkeepers. Let's move on to left back and right back. So for left back and right back, the main ones you guys might be using are Cancelo and Hincapié. But the thing is, remember with this, I'm going to guess that EA are going to release a Glory Hunters cosmetic later on into the week with the promo, where it'll be you pay 200,000 coins for a Glory Hunter cosmetic. So even if you're not using Hincapié or Cancelo, or maybe you're not using a CDM or a cam or whatever it is, I think it's worth it to know the playstyles for all the positions, because I guarantee they will do that, where you can put any card into a Glory Hunters. But the ones on the market is Cancelo and Hincapié, the main ones. There's some of the ones like Kieran Tierney, but no one's really using them. But it still applies the same here. So here, I think 3 of the playstyle pluses are super obvious. Quick step is just a must. Bruiser, even after the nerf, is just a must. And intercept is just a must. And then in the B tier, for the last playstyle plus, for me, it's between anticipate and pinged pass. If you like your fullbacks to be purely defensive, anticipate plus is obviously still an amazing playstyle. Yes, I understand it, and it's the one that I would go for personally. But if you use the fullbacks a little bit more in the attack, you could even make an argument for incisive. However, I wouldn't do that. But pinged pass plus, honestly, with a fullback into your winger or into your centre mid, is a little bit underrated. I think it's a really good playstyle plus. I personally would go anticipate, but you can go either of those. So if you were going anticipate, we'll put pinged into C, and then the ones you need here is jockey has to be on there. Jockey, a little bit of an underrated playstyle for fullbacks, has to be on there. Aerial fortress has to be on there. People doing the kickoff glitch to your fullback. Aerial fortress is so underrated on fullbacks, has to be on there. Ticky has to be on there, obviously. Relentless for me has to be on there. A lot of people overlook that, but the fullbacks are the one person in your team. If they run out of stamina, you're dead, right? They have to be on there. The last one I'd say has to be on there as a playstyle is incisive. Just through balls to the wingers. Maybe if you play narrow, not for you, but even if you play narrow, then your fullback's going to be down the line more. So I'd say incisive has to be on there, right? And then I think that's 5 playstyles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, let's wait. 1, 2, yeah, 4, 5, 6. 6 playstyles, so 2 left. The ones I was between was block. I think obviously it's a defender. I just don't think fullbacks are often in a position to block anything, to be honest, but block. Slide tackle, of course, but to be honest, the one that I'd probably go for is, where is it? Rapid. I use my fullbacks a little bit to attack. If you're ever going to run down the line with them, I think rapid goes to the top of that list. And I'd say finally, there's an argument for long ball. I don't think you need whipped on this game. I don't think you need technical on it first touch. And I wouldn't even say you need it like anything else really at all. I think the last 2 playstyles are between these. And if I was doing the build, I would actually move rapid up. I think if you want to attack with the fullbacks at all. And I'd probably do block, just in case it comes in useful, as I don't use long balls too much, and I don't use slide tackles too much. So that would be my fullback build. But centre-back is slightly different, and probably more important, because the centre-backs in this promo are very, very good. If anyone's got Van Dijk, I mean, best centre-back on the game. But even a card like Kalidou Koulibaly, the fact you can make perfect playstyles on this card, he looks brilliant. And although he's not long, I think he's like, what, 5'11". Yes, you probably are using Kieran Tierney at fullback. But I guess, you've got the option to use him at centre-back, and I'm sure some people will. So what is the best centre-back build on these cards? I think this one is one of the most obvious for Playstyle Plus, but Playstyles, I think people mess up the few, like the last ones. Playstyle Plus on centre-back, you have to go these four, and it's just non-negotiable, I don't think. Intercept and Anticipate is a must. Bruiser, again, even after the nerf, similar to fullbacks, is a must, and Quickstep is a must, right? The difference here is Anticipate is not like 50-50 between Ticky or Pinged or something. On a centre-back, it is those four Playstyle Plus, and you don't change them. And I think a lot of the playstyles are pretty obvious as well. You put pretty much every defensive playstyle that you've got left, all the way up to Aerial Fortress. That only gives you room for 4 more playstyles. You have to use Ping Pass. You have to use Ticky. I'm sorry, you just do. And that only gives you room for 2 more playstyles. And here are the ones in between. Relentless, trust me, I'll get to that. Precision Header, again, kind of obvious for, headers. Long ball, incisive, right? I think that's pretty sure I've not missed anything. Yep, that's everything. So that is everything I would possibly use. Let me explain, right? Relentless is the most important one if you ever team press or offside trap. Not everyone does, I get that. But Relentless is so nice on centre-backs to constantly team press, constantly offside trap, and not run out of stamina at any point during the game. Especially because a lot of the centre-backs do have a little bit lower stamina compared to these endgame cards now. So I would do Relentless. It leaves you with 2 playstyles left. Sorry, 1 playstyle left. I can't count. I literally can't count at all. I don't like Precision Header because I do not cross corners. If you put big centre-backs in the box, I would use Precision Header as the last one, obviously. I also don't often do incisives with the centre-backs, but I know a lot of people do. I don't think it's needed on this game. You do incisive with your CDMs and you like left back and right back a lot more. I think for me, it is long ball, right? Are you often going to use it? No, but it's the last playstyle you put on. And I think centre-back diags to the wingers with long ball, not perfect, but if you've got a winger who's lengthy or a winger who's 6'2", 6'3", and maybe got Enforcer, Aerial Fortress, something like that, then it's kind of broken. I know a lot of people won't use it, but as it's the last playstyle, I think it's worth it. And that would be my centre-back build for pretty much all centre-backs. If you're doing someone like Kieran Tierney, who's playing left-back and centre-back, you mix it up with a few more attacking playstyles. But for Koulibaly, Van Dijk, those kind of centre-backs, that's the centre-back build. Let's move on to CDMs. So again, one of the best positions in the entire promo. The way we're going to do this is we're going to do CDM, we're going to tweak it slightly for centre-mid, and then tweak it slightly for cam, but they're all kind of based around the same build. But CDMs, you've got Gravenberch, fantastic. Caicedo, I'm sure a lot of you guys will have. This guy, I've got a brilliant build for. I think he'll be the best DM in the game now with that Frankie de Jong card. They both will play brilliantly with their like dribbling and passing stats. Fabian Ruiz and McKennie are super cheap and look brilliant. More box to boxes, but they look brilliant. And of course, can't forget N'Golo Kante, who has brilliant defensive stats and will be a proper like stopper CDM. For your CDM, once again, we have a few must playstyle pluses. I think you're noticing a pattern with the Intercept Plus. I mean, it's just broken. What can you say, right? Now, if we're doing CDMs, we'll get onto centre mids. But for CDM, again, Anticipate Plus. I use that Frankie de Jong Path to Glory card. He's completely changed my outlook on Anticipate on centre mids. It is so broken, I can't explain it. And then the other one you need as a must is Pinged Pass. Now, for CDMs, I would not say there's a 4th must playstyle plus. It is actually between Incisive Plus, Ticky Plus, and I would put an argument in for Bruiser Plus, but for me, I wouldn't go with this one, but I know that a lot of pros do like it and still bum off the advanced defending, so I will put it in there. For me, I was between these 3 when deciding like a lot of the playstyles, and I think this was one of the hardest ones, but after using some of the cards that I've used in this game, I've used a lot of the high-end cards, like that Frankie de Jong, but pretty much all the big centre mids, I was used to like be against a little bit tiki-taka plus. I think it's a little bit of a waste of a plus, and it's better as a white play style. But to be honest, after using Frankie de Jong and a few other cards, it just makes your gameplay so much smoother, right? Giving it to your CDM, they're probably the card that does the most first-time passes. And again, this is like a centre mid who plays more defensive, right? Those are the 4 playstyle plus I would go for. I would move Incisive and Bruiser down to the C tier to put on regular playstyles. I think you're going to need Jockey 100%. You're going to need Finesse, I think, and not 100%, but as a sort of last playstyle. I think anyone who's going to be anywhere near the edge of the box, having Finesse, especially on a lot of these Glory Hunter cards, you have minimum like 80 to 85 shooting. I think it's worth it. And I think the other ones that are a little bit of a must are Quickstep, Relentless, Press Proven, wrong order. Quickstep, Relentless, and Press Proven. Quickstep's really nice on pretty much any centre mid. It makes your gameplay feel a little bit faster. You'll know what I mean if you've used someone with and without Quickstep in midfield. Press Proven is not a great playstyle. I think people overrate Press Proven a little bit. However, on your CDM and your centre mids is the one position that after using that Xavi great to the game card is fantastic. Relentless goes without saying. It's a playstyle plus for centre mids. It's not perfect. You don't never use it as a playstyle plus, but as a playstyle, it's nice. And then for that last playstyle slot, I think you have to go between long, ball plus, and technical. You can make an argument for some of the other ones. I think it's absolutely dead. We're kind of being boring and going meta here. You'll notice I'm not going to use dead ball on any of the cards. If you want a dead ball card in your team, absolutely go for it. I'm just not going to use it now because that's kind of pointless for a build. I think choose one of technical or long ball. It's down to your playstyle. It's not really down to the cards in the promo at this point. It's down to your playstyle. Do you dribble with your more defensive CDM? Go technical. Do you ever spray passes to the wingers or strikers? Go long ball. As simple as that. For me, I never play like long passes. I just run with my CDMs, if anything. So I would go technical, and that would be my playstyle push build for any defensive centre mid. We're not going to go and like do a completely different one for centre mids. All we're going to do is tweak it slightly. All you're going to do is move, anticipate. If this is now more like a box to box, right? Move, anticipate, back one. You're going to move tiki-taka back one, and you're going to move finesse shot up one and incisive up one. But I would pretty much keep the rest the same. Finesse shots on the edge of the box, I'd go without saying, one of the best playstyle plus, if not the best playstyle plus in the game. Same with incisive. You're not going to need the plus and anticipate anymore, and we're just moving tiki back because it's nicer to have those two as a playstyle plus on a more attacking central midfielder. The only difference now is that low driven and inventive come into the equation a little bit more because both of them are going to be used more on those centre mids. Loads of people love inventive through balls. If you love inventive through balls, go for it. I think once you've got incisive, inventive's a bit of a waste, so I wouldn't go for it. Low driven, again, I think more in a box to box. You just never need both low drivens and finesses. They're not often one-on-one with the keeper, but I understand it if you're using someone who's box to box and you just play really attacking football. I'd get rid of low driven, and I would stick with this as the best playstyle plus for a box to box centre mid. Best cards for that is going to be Tijani Reinders. He's a box to box centre mid. McKennie looks fantastic as a box to box centre mid. Fabian Ruiz looks fantastic as a box to box centre mid, whereas you'd Kante and Gravenberch more as CDMs, and I would actually use Reinders as a CDM as well. But Reinders has that 93 shooting, so you can kind of use them as both, but he just has that body type and the way he plays with 97 dribbling, 95 passing. He'll play amazing as a CDM. But the big one, Cam. A lot of these cards can play Cam. You got Messi, Dembele, if you've somehow packed one of those. Of course, you got Neymar, if you've somehow packed him. One of the ones you'll actually be able to afford, because he's like less than 1 million coins, I think now, is this Bruno Fernandes. Not 5-star skills, and of course, quite similar to his Team of the Season card, but now with perfect playstyle plus. Getting closer to the cards like Rashford and Gordon that almost everyone will have. Rashford's stupid cheap, and obviously Gordon's a fantastic SBC, which, by the way, everyone should go and do Gordon. Also, Okafor didn't realise can play Cam as well if you're doing a little bit of a Leeds past and present. What are the best playstyles for a Cam on this game? It's going to be a little bit different. We're getting obviously more attacking now. For a Cam, you can basically get rid of Intercept Plus as a plus playstyle. You can pretty much get rid of Anticipate completely from the playstyles and Bruiser from the playstyles. And I'd even possibly say Relentless. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put it down here for now with Press Proven. And in fact, let's move this all down. Let's do the playstyle plus first because Cams can get a little bit confusing for a lot of people. Now, there's two kind of Cams on this game. There's Cams who play more as wingers, 4-2-2. I wouldn't do that. If you're playing a formation like that, respect to you. You're going to need things like rapid and quick step on your Cams. This is about essential playmaker Cam who had to play Shadow Striker or Playmaker, you know, in behind a striker or two. The only two must playstyle pluses you need are Finesse and Incisive. Now, behind that, you've got options, but it's pinged. It is technical if we can ever find it. Low driven, I would put in there, and quick step as well. Quick step's a little bit rogue, but trust me, I've used Cams again with and without quick step. Cam, you often want not rapid plus, like running in behind the ball, but quick step plus can be really, really clutch, especially if you play with one Cam and one striker, because they kind of play more like a striker in that formation. So, for example, a 4-4-1-1, or even this is the 4-5-1 for your attacking centre mid. I would build them like this rather than the centre mid. But I think the best build for a Cam is going to be quick step, move down into the regular play styles. Now, listen to me on this, right? It's going to be technical, move down to the regular play styles. I would go with low driven and ping pass simply because I think they're the best playstyle pluses, whereas technical is still fine as a regular playstyle, but pinged and low driven plus, it feels like you get a really nice extra boost on those low driven shots, on those ping passes. So I'd go those 4 playstyle pluses for a Cam. And then I think you need Tiki, you need Rapid. I'm getting to the point now where you need Game Changer on pretty much all of these cards. The animations are just a little bit broken when you've got Game Changer, so I think you need Game Changer. And I actually think, maybe a hot take, I think you need Intercept. If you've used a Cam with Intercept, you'll probably know what I'm talking about when I say use Intercept on Cams. The amount of goals you'll get from just your Cam intercepts a simple ball, you score off like a little bit of a counter attack. It's kind of broken, right? A little bit annoying for the opponent, but it's broken. So I would say Intercept goes into the need category. We then need 2 more white play styles, and I think you're choosing between Press Proven, Trickster, First Touch, and Inventive. Now, again, Inventive's very like personal preference. For me, I don't use Inventive passes if you've got Incisive Plus, but I'm, you know, going to put it there for one of you guys. Press Proven, again, I think it's better on centre mids and CDMs. I don't use it too much on more attacking players, so I'm going to get rid of that, which means for me, I'm going to go Trickster and First Touch. However, I understand that no one really uses Trickster. You might think I'm being a little bit like trolling. No, Trickster fake shots, just do a fake shot forward with the Trickster playstyle is so nice to get around opponents, especially with a Cam on the edge of the box. The only thing I would say is, if you just look at me and you think, I'm not going to use Trickster fake shots or any of the new Trickster animation stuff, absolutely fine. I would get rid of Trickster and put one of Inventive or Press Proven. If you don't use Inventive at all, then yes, I'd put Press Proven in. I never find myself using long ball on cams. I never think the power shot is just needed. If you're someone that likes banging power shots, again, go for it. But if we're talking meta, it's just not needed. And yeah, I'd go Trickster personally. And my actual build would be this one here if we put it back. I think first touch, probably the must. I put first touch here. I think it's probably a must, to be honest, when looking at the rest of the playstyles. And this would be my center attacking midfielder build. So Bruno Fernandes, Okafor, Messi, Dembele. That is what I'd go for. And boys, now we're talking the big boy players. Those ones you're probably mainly here for. We've got Rashford, who almost everyone's packed already. You got Gordon, who's obviously the SBC, so everyone will have. You've got Somerville, who looks brilliant, by the way. Not the best shooting and passing, but 99 pace looks brilliant. Of course, you got Neymar, who you can play on the wing as well. Messi, you can play on the wing up front. Same as Dembele, winger up front, right? Wingers and strikers are probably the one where this applies the most, right? This is where you want to have the best play styles, your best players in the team. So let's start with wingers. And boys, of course, subscribe if you are new to the channel. We'll be doing builds on individual players and SBCs that come out later in the week for Glory Hunters. We've got Romero coming, some other nice cards coming, so subscribe so you don't miss those. But let's start with wingers. Now, I think we can all agree that rapid, finesse, and quick step, and to be honest, I'm going to put this in this here, and I'll explain why, but rapid and finesse are needed. That's just no question. If you're using wingers at all, you will know that. Rapid plus and finesse plus necessary, right? And to be honest, I would actually just say that it's quick step and incisive necessary. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to understand that you guys don't all play the same as me, so I'm going to do this, right? As the second and third playstyle plus, or sorry, the third and fourth playstyle plus. Quick step, incisive, low driven, and pinged. This is as simple as, for me, I think if you do any through balls with your wingers to your striker, you should know if you do that, right? Do you play through balls from your winger to your striker? I do. I've seen a lot of people say they don't. I think if you play a single through ball a game from your winger to your striker, that incisive plus is the difference between a goal and not scoring. I would almost say guaranteed put that on that A, have it as a playstyle plus. And for me, it's a winger at the end of the day. I would go quick step, but I've put pinged and low driven because I know a lot of people play more sort of tiki-taka football than me, edge of the box, passing it round. Pinged pass is amazing for that. And I know that a lot of people will use a striker with incisive and have their wingers be the one scoring the goals, like, you know, running in most of the game. So for that, lengthy winger with low driven, I'm not against it at all. But the best wingers on this game for me have been Gakpo SBC, Keegan Nazareth UCL card. They have incisive, rapid, and finesse. Not a coincidence, they're some of the best cards in the entire game. And I would just add quick step to that, which means for me, I would move low driven down and ping down to regular playstyles. Now, the most important next playstyle for wingers, you guys should know by now, game changer. Game changer are cross goal shots with wingers, especially if it's a right foot on the right, left foot on the left. It just, like, I can't explain how necessary that is. So we're going to put game changer in next. I think Tiki goes without saying, it's needed. Technical goes without saying, unless you're an analog sprinter, pretty much needed. And then you've got, what is it, 3 more playstyles left to get towards the 8, and you go in from these bunch here. Now, I've put these two at the back. I'm going to say don't use either of them. If you do, you know, crosses a lot, if you're someone that somehow plays crosses to the striker, I don't know what FIFA you're playing, you're a little bit past your expiry date, right? That was a few years ago. But if you're someone that does that, fair play, whip pass, put it on your wingers, right? Absolutely. I don't think you should put it that way. Same with inventive. I understand it on a wingers a little bit more. Often wingers will have the angle to do inventive passes through to the striker. But once again, if you've got incisive plus, you don't need inventive. So I'm going to get rid of that again. I understand inventive has a lot of hype. I just don't think you need it if you've already got incisive. They kind of cancel each other out for those through ball passes. Which means you're choosing 3 of these 4 here. And to be honest, boys, I think Relentless is boring. Maybe it's like nice to have on a winger towards the end of the game. Substitutes exist, and therefore I'd go press proven, trickster, and first touch. If you're someone that, once again, will not use a single trickster animation, yes, you can swap that out. For that, I'd then go and put, you know, inventive or whip pass back in, whichever one you're more likely to use. But to be honest, I think the trickster fake shots are just too good to not have in there. So that's what I would go. That is the perfect winger build, but it differs quite a little bit from the strikers, which is probably, again, the main one. This is now the Anthony Gordon build, the Marcus Rashford build. I guess it's also the Dembele and Messi build, like we said before. There's a lot of cards that can play striker, and more are going to come out as SBC's objectives. And again, if we do get a Glory Hunters cosmetic, I imagine a lot of people will put it on a striker, obviously. So this is probably the most important one, and also the one that people debate about the most. Everyone seems to disagree what playstyle plus a striker should have. So let's get into the build. And again, this is exactly what I've done on my Anthony Gordon. The main thing that actually changes between strikers and wingers is the playstyle plus. So for example, for playstyles, I would think Tiki should not need it as a plus, right? Game changer is never needed as a plus. Trickster, first touch, press proven, technical. They're all playstyles that are all needed, but are not needed as a plus, right? I'm going to ignore power shot, but I do think you put it in like that D tier of, you know, maybe you understand. A lot of you guys like to be one-on-one and do power shots. I think it's an absolute waste, to be honest, but I know a lot of you guys will like it. And then when it comes to playstyle plus, incisive, if you're someone that uses wingers, that is probably the single most important. I mean, like, finesse is obvious there, but I can't stress enough how much incisive plus is just broken if you've got wingers, obviously. Finesse shot plus is needed, and of course, low driven is needed. So you'll notice, what are we missing for playstyle pluses and playstyles? Well, the 2 ones people seem to debate is rapid and quick step, and we've also got a ping pass there, which I'll just throw in regular playstyle. Ping pass plus is an amazing playstyle, but your striker is probably the person that ping passes it the least. They're the person that normally gets pinged past to if that makes sense. But still, Ping Pass is a great playstyle, so I'll drop it there. So basically, you've got 7 playstyles, 3 playstyle pluses. You're basically between Rapid and Quickstep for a 4th playstyle plus, right? Now, this is the debate, and I think it's quite obvious. I think it's as simple as you notice Rapid a lot more on lengthy players who are making long runs in behind. Strikers don't often do that the way this game plays if you're trying to play at a high level. Now, if you're not trying to play at a high level, then what's the point of even, doing these meta builds? Go and build whatever you want. If you're trying to play at a high level and you want your games to feel a little bit easier, you play into the meta, you often don't need Rapid as much as you need Quickstep Plus on a striker, because again, strikers often aren't making that same runs as wingers. They're the ones making quick runs or little quick runs in behind a defender. You don't often need Rapid Plus, but I know some of you guys will disagree with that. I know some people might even put Game Changer up there. I don't think, that you're begging it a little bit, basically. But this is the build I would go, for with strikers. I wouldn't use Relentless or Power Shot or Inventive, nothing like that. I wouldn't use Enforcer once, by the way. You'll have noticed there's playstyles are not used in this entire video. These are the playstyles at the bottom here that didn't even get a single mention for any position. If you use any of these playstyles, let me know down below. It'd probably be Power Shot or Enforcer, I imagine, or maybe Dead Ball if you like free kicks. Those playstyles are pretty much pointless. EA needs to do something with the playstyle meta and fix it or balance it or get rid of them, right? But as you can see, that is my exact Anthony Gordon build. I think the ones you guys should try. If you're not liking him, you can definitely swap out Quickstep Plus for Rapid Plus. Evos are removable this year, right? It's almost like a creator's class system on COD. If you guys play COD, you'll know what I mean, where you can just like pick and change attachments. That's what Evos now feel like. So if you don't like this, then change it outright. Get rid of Quickstep, try Rapid. But this would be my Anthony Gordon build or Rashford build if you're playing him up front. But there you go. Every single build for every single Glory Hunters card. Let me know, what is the best card you've packed so far? For me, it is simply Marcus Rashford. I got Ronaldinho yesterday, but nothing better. Let me know who the best card you've packed is. And yeah, I'll see you all in a bizzle.